Okay guys, welcome back to DSE Economics. So in this video, we are going to the new session. After the demand supply basic, we will go to something add on that. Okay, so we based on the chapter 8 to chapter 10, and after that we have to talk about the government intervention this time. And actually government sometimes they want to intervene the market because they have other consideration. For example, they want the poor can buy some food, or they want to protect the labor, or even they find that some product is not beneficial for the health or for the actually is damaging the quality of life. Okay, so they will try to intervene the market by several ways. So the first way is trying to control the price or affect the price. Okay, so we'll go through that, and later on we'll talk about the quantity and the tax and the subsidy later. So let's go. The first way to control the price is the price ceiling. And what actually we have to learn about price ceiling? So let's check it. In this video, I would like to understand what is effective price ceiling. Actually, that's ineffective and that's effective, but what's the difference? So we have to understand. And second, I want you to understand using graph to find out the price ceiling, and also how to find out the effect on the price, on the quantity transacted, total revenue, and excess demand. Oh, you will find that there is some changes in these things. Okay, and after the demand supply change, what is the effect of that? That's why I said that this based on what we learned before. Okay, if you have already noted, so you don't need to watch this video, but if not, let's go. Okay, let's go to something branch your life. Okay, so I don't know whether you know that if you try to book the volleyball court in the public sports center, and you will find that it's very difficult. You can just like this. This is a schedule I just found online, and you will never can book the time. Okay, no matter after work or even previous. Okay, in the afternoon. So it is hard to book it. But do you know why? I just give you one more additional information. That is the price, okay, for what we need to pay for the volleyball courts. Okay, actually, per hour, it just only need $148 Hong Kong dollars. So, what do you think? 10 people or 12 people are playing volleyball here, and every hour they just need to pay 148. That means around $10 something for each of them. So it's really cheap, right? It's affordable for most of the people. So that's why there's a lot of people there. But why the price is so low? Actually, you will find a similar case in the other goods. Okay, for example, we talk about our medical service. You will find that if we go to emergency, if we want to go to emergency, that's only need to pay $100. Affordable for most of the people. The same case on university, the same case of public housing, or even the transportation service. We will find that the government tried to lower the price, but how he did it, okay, how she did it, actually is putting the price ceiling on these services. Okay, that is what is the price ceiling? That means they put an upper limit on the price itself. Okay, so actually it just put the upper limit on the price. The seller cannot set more than that price. Okay, for example, if the market price is equal to $10, okay, an effective pricing is try to limit the price. Maybe the pricing is equal to $8. That means your sellers, if you want to sell at $10, no way this time. The maximum amount is $8. So the sellers can only sell at $8 at this moment. That is effective price ceiling. Okay, let's think about that. So okay, just as the previous case, I said the price ceiling below the equilibrium price. That means the price the seller and the consumer acceptable. Okay, so what happened to these? Actually, if you're thinking about that, that means the government does not allow the sellers to sell more than that price. Okay, so here you are not allowed to be sell more than PC. So above the PC, this is a forbidden zone. Okay, that means no people can set price here. So what happened to the price? The market price cannot stay at P1 anymore. He has to go down to PC. Okay, so if effective it is an effective price ceiling, then the price ceiling will be smaller or set below the price equilibrium price, and they make the market price decrease. Okay, just a very brief version. Equilibrium price only means that the price that at the equilibrium point, it doesn't have to be the market price or the actual price. It has, okay, market price is the actual price is setting. So the quantity transaction, what happened? Actually, when we go to PC, you will find that there's 2 points here. Okay, just say that it's Q2 or Q3. And here, if for Q2, we will find that this is a quantity supply because it touched the supply curve. For Q3, that is a touching the demand curve. So it is quantity demand. Think about it. I give you an exact number. If there's a 10 quantity, 10 goods people want, and only 5 goods is selling. So how many goods is really transacted, okay, really trade? Of course, it's only 5, right? Because 5 more people cannot buy, even they want to. Okay, so the quantity transaction is actually Q2, so it dropped. Okay, so from Q1 to Q2, and total revenue, you will find that market price drop, quantity transaction drop, so total revenue drop. From the diagram, where is which part is the drop? Is here. Originally P1, right? This blue area is the drop of the total revenue. And okay, so excess, think about this. After we drop the price here, and then we find this distance, the Q2, Q3, this is the excess demand. Okay, this is what we learned at the very beginning of demand supply. Okay, we just figured out that there's so many changes about the pricing set below the equilibrium price. Let's go to the opposite. What if the price ceiling is set above the equilibrium price? Okay, so what happened? Think about the forbidden zone. Where is the forbidden zone? Upper or lower? Yes, yeah, the forbidden zone is the upper part of it because it's ceiling. So no people can go upper. Okay, so you'll find that the forbidden zone is here. Then that means people are allowed to set the price below the ceiling. Okay, so think about the sellers. What price they prefer? Actually, they prefer the equilibrium, right? At the previous case, they cannot stay at the equilibrium, but now they can, so they would prefer to stay here. So what happened to the market price? Market price will stay on P1. So at this moment, PC is bigger than PE. Actually, we called it the market price will stay at the P1. That means market price doesn't change. That's why we called it an ineffective price ceiling. Okay, that means it does not affect the market price. It cannot force, or it will not force the people to change the price. Okay, so no market price change, so no quantity change, no price and quantity change, so no total revenue change. No change, everything stay at in the equilibrium. So excess demand or supply will not exist. Okay, so that is what an ineffective price ceiling. Okay, to sum up what we learned here, if we find that the price ceiling is setting a bit smaller than equilibrium price, that means that it's lower or below the equilibrium price, it is effective. Okay, and some consumer will be happy, some of them, because the market price decrease. Okay, and when the market price decrease, because that is an excess demand, right? That is excess demand exists. Okay, so when the excess demand exists, that means people cannot compete with price only. They have to wait. They have to use different method to to get the goods, okay? So sometimes you will find that many people line up for the goods, or many people using a lucky draw, or some people they just depends on using some criteria to make sure to determine the allocation of the goods, okay? So here, that means that these things lighting up, lucky draw, or according to the academic results, or according to their income, that is the non-price competition, okay? And you will find that some people can, if under those criteria they cannot get the goods, then they will try to do some illegal things. They will try to buy the things by giving by offering a higher price. And the sellers, they also want to sell in a higher price because they're making profits. So some people, in that case, illegal trading will exist. That is a black market that may occur. Just in the opposite, you will find that if the price ceiling is more than the equilibrium price, and here it is ineffective. This is ineffective. So all the things, the price, quantity, and total revenue, it will be unchanged. Everything will stay at the equilibrium point. Okay, hey guys, this is we talk about the pricing already. So let's go for a test for us, okay? I will stay here to do it for you, okay? But I will start the first row, okay? So, and then you try to finish the others. And then let's look at this diagram. Actually, this is a lot of lines there, but don't be afraid, because every time we just using some of them. So here, let's look at the conditions. Here we have a free market, and here we have a different price ceiling, P1 and P2, okay? So let's think about free market. If we are talking about free markets, that means the market determine the price and the quantity themselves, and they will stay at the equilibrium, okay? So everything is very simple. The market price will be equal to equilibrium price, quantity demand, that means the quantity it touched the demand curve, that means the blue spot, okay? So here it is QE, quantity supply, QE, because it touches supply curve, and quantity transacts always the smaller between the QS and QD. Okay, so smaller is QE. So is there any excess demand? No, right? So that is no. Can we find that? Okay, so let's do it together. One more, okay? About the P1 is the price floor. Okay, so let's think about this. This time P1 is the price floor, and the first thing you need to think about is whether it is effective. If effective, that means it's changed the market price. If not, it does not affect the market price. So think about it. This P1 and forbidden zone for price ceiling is the upper part, right? Upper part, that means we cannot stay here, right? Okay, so we think about upper part including the equilibrium point. That means people cannot stay at the equilibrium point anymore. So it would be an effective. It is effective for price ceiling. So what happened to market price? It will drop to P1. The quantity demand, the quantity according to price, that means P1, this curve, the quantity it touched the demand curve is here, right? So quantity demand is Q2. It touched the supply curve is here. So it is Q1 for the quantity supply. And quantity transact is always the smaller between the QD and QS. So it is Q1. Okay, it's smaller than the Q2, right? So excess demand does exist. Of course, this is Q1, Q2. And that's all. And please pause the video and try to finish the last line and then play the video again. I give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, pause. Hey guys, let's check the answers. Okay, so here you will find that if the price ceiling is set on P2, it is ineffective. Okay, so ineffective, it doesn't change the market price. So the market price will be it's not P1, it's PE. Okay, so this time PE, QE, 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 and no. So everything does not change, the same as the free market. Did you get it? Okay, and if you do that, congratulations. So let's go on the next part. Okay, let's go to the next level challenge. Here, we will find that that is a change of the demand. Okay, this is T1 to T2, and we have a price setting in P1. So let's check what is the changes after the demand change. Okay, before that, let's work on here. Well, let's work on what happened to the market price. What is the original market price, quantity, and the excess demand here. Okay, so just let's pause the video and try to fill in this blank. If you have any notebooks, okay. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, welcome back. Let's check your answer with the blue with the D1. Okay, so here, just to remind you, if you find that your answer is not really correct, are you working on this D1? Make sure that you are using this one. This one at the very beginning, if you find that it's so many lines that makes you confused, try to highlight the lines you are really using at that moment. Okay, so I may use the blue highlight pen to highlight here. So I will find the intersection here. Okay, and find the intersection here. So Q1, Q2, I can find those. Okay, so after, if you still find out the difficult to understand, please go back to this video, the last part. Okay. Then we will talk about how when the change, the demand curve change to D2, that means increase, what will happen? Okay, so let's find out the new interception. New interception is here, and we are still using the previous supply curve. So, and the price is still P1 because it's still below the equilibrium. So that's two points here. So we'll find the Q1 and Q3 is also here. So market price Q1 and the quantity demand touching the demand curve here. So it will be Q3, and touching the supply curve, this one, so it's Q1, and the quantity excess is the smaller one between those. Then the excess supply is now Q1, Q3. That means this distance. Okay, so actually, if you find the change of the price, actually everything will be easy. Okay, this time we will find the change of the demand also, but this time it's demand decrease. So let's use the same technique to do the same thing. We have our original demand curve, original supply curve. So let's find out the market price and quantity excess demand. And pause the video, find the result, and then play the video again. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, welcome back. We have our finding. Let's check the answer of the D1. I think should be similar to the last challenge. Okay, so but this time the challenge is the change for demand. This time decrease, and the new demand curve will be here. Okay, before I go through this, I hope you to try, okay, to find the answer. Make a guess, okay, about what happened to the price, quantity, and excess demand when the demand curve is D2. Okay, pause the video and have a guess first, and after that play the video again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, I don't know whether you have a very curious, because you may confuse that I can't find the market price and the quantity related quantity. If you have that feelings or you have that confusion, congratulations, you are very good. Okay, so let's check why you should have that confusion. So think about it. After we change the demand, actually the equilibrium point will change to here, intersection between the D2 and the S, and this equilibrium point make the change of the equilibrium point make the price ceiling become above the equilibrium price. That means actually the forbidden zone should be above the price, right? So, but now the equilibrium price is under the forbidden zone. So the sellers will want to keep the price here. Okay, so actually you will find that the new market price should be here. We have a P3 here, or P2 here, and the equilibrium quantity will be Q3. Okay, so what happened to the market price? Market price will stay in P2, and quantity demand touch the demand curve, Q2, touch the supply curve, Q2. So the content transactions is the same, and excess demand because in equilibrium, so there will be no excess demand. This is the greatness challenge. Okay, so now we have already gone through the basic concept or even the advanced challenge of price ceiling. So please go to the Google form and try to complete the challenge, and then we will go to price for next time. See you.